Hello friends, in today's session we'll be talking about loops. So let's start with the while loop. Let me write a very simple logic here. So I'm just defining a variable I and assigning that value 1 to variable I, and while I is less than 10, and then you need to put the colon, and now it's see, as soon as I press enter you can see there is an indentation. So like if here there is nothing to define, like I am starting a while loop or I am closing a while loop, so it's handled by indentation. So I'm having one statement here, print I, and that's it. So you have a condition here, while I is less than 10, print I. So this is the while loop. Let me run and see what happens. You can see on screen. So script is in progress. Actually, it's stuck in infinite loop. So I value of I is 1, 1 is less than 10, and then it will keep printing I. So let me stop this. So you see, this is while loop, but there is we have not incremented I after each print statement or within the loop. That's the reason it keep printing I all the time. So it's in a infinite loop. So how we can control that? So I can do I is equals to I plus 1. So I need to increment I every time by 1. So either I can use this syntax or I can simply say I plus equals to 1. The same meaning. And let me run this statement again. This time printing first time I is less than 10. 1, next time I is getting incremented by 1. So the value of I is 2, 2 is less than 10. So it goes till 9. So 9 is less than 10, print 9, I is equals to I plus 1. So at last iteration, I became 10. And then 10 is less than 10, it's coming out of the I. So that's how while loop works in Python. There is no start, no end. It's controlled by indentation. So this is while condition with colon, and then you have a statement within one. Okay. So I have not seen any in any other programming languages I worked so far, but here in Python with while we have a very good else. We can use else with while. So what this else does? Okay. Let me execute this and see what happens. Again, it's I need to put the column, run. You can see whatever there is in while it's getting executed, and after that it's going to else part. So whatever condition satisfied it's executed, and then it's going to else part. So sometime there might be some situation where after performing the loop or iterations, you want to do some operations, and you can do. So we just learn about while and then else, and we have two more statements to understand. Like, let me just type it, while else, then there is a statement break, and we have another continue. Okay, so let's see what does this break and continue mean, what how we can use it. So in this loop, what we are doing, we are printing numbers starting from 1 to 9. So you know, if in this loop we are iterating from I to 9, or if I print this I is less than equals to 10, it means we'll print number from 1 to 10. Let's try this, 1 to 10. So I can use this loop to, so what we can do now, for each number, let's find the, let's do the mode operation and find the remainder. Let's suppose the value of I is 1, and if I am dividing I by 2, then what is the remainder? So this gives us the, let me comment and show you what mode operation does. Okay. So print 10 mod 2. So if you divide 10 by 2, what will be the remainder? And let's use another statement, and this time let's divide 10 by 3, and we'll see what the output in the case is. So you can see in this case the remainder is 0, and in second case remainder is 1. Let's make it 4 and this as 6, and let's see what the remainder. So usually you can just calculate, if you divide 10 by 4 what should be the remainder, and if you divide 10 by 6 what should be remainder, and just check the results here. So here in case first case 2 is the remainder, and in second case 4 is the remainder. So you know what does this 10 mode or 10% is 6 means. This is the basically the mode operation that we will be performing. Alright, so I uncommented, and okay, so let me calculate. Mod equals to I mod 2, and then let me print. Let's give the meaningful remainder and just print that and execute. So you can see each number is divided like alternate number 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So starting from 1 to 10, you know how like 4 is divisible, 6 is divisible, 8 is divisible. So accordingly the results are coming here. So what if I do this 3 and run? It's 0 1 2. What if I do with 4? So there are some different results. So now what we are supposed to do, it's a hypothetical case, but let's consider this as a problem statement that if remainder is 3, I don't want to execute anything in this. If remainder is 3, I don't want to execute anything within the loop, or I want to quit the loop. So let me add few more statements here. So let me something print. This is the last step in while loop, and I'm just adding just to showcase you. And let me run one more time. And remainder execute. So what's happening here? So for after each print statement, you can see there is a line. There is a line like for each iteration when value of I is 1, you are calculating the remainder, printing the remainder, and then you're printing. This is the last step in while loop. Okay, for 1 2 3, for everything it's getting printed. So now what we will do, we have a scenario, or we have a problem that whenever the remainder is 3, quit the while loop. Okay, so then what we'll do, we'll have a if statement here. If remainder is equals to 3, then what we need to quit. So quit, what we can use here, we can use break statement. So what break does, it let's say there are 10 iterations within the while loop. You are on 5th iteration. If this condition met, you will be kicked out of this while loop. Okay, and when we executed last, that time at the end, see this was also getting printing the while as part in normal case. But what will happen here, let's execute and see. Okay, so what happened, First time the remainder was 1. This is the last, means this was executed. In second iteration, remainder was 2. This get executed. In third iteration, when remainder was 3, there was a break statement. And then we quit the loop. We not only quit the while loop, even we quit the else part. So whenever there is a break, you are moving, you are jumping out of the loop, both while and else part. So what break does? Break kick you out of the loop. Okay. So now I'll, instead of break, let me use continue. So what continue does? So whenever there is a continue condition, so in a while loop, there might be 20 steps. So far we have 4 or 5 steps only, but in while loop there might be 20 or 30 steps. And whenever there is a continuous statement executed, the steps after continue will not take place. Means, let's say remainder is 3, control will go back to while loop, and these lines will not be printed. Let me execute and showcase. And instead of running 10, I'll run to 5 so that we can see everything on the screen. Okay. So you can see what happens. So as soon as it's again in an infinite loop. Why it's in an infinite loop? Let me stop this and see. Because once remainder is 3, it's continue, and these two steps are not getting executed. And control moves to I, and I, what is the value of I? 3. 3 is less than or equals to 5. Yes, and again it keep doing it because I was never incremented after 3. Right? So first I value of I was 1, then 2, and then 3. When it came to 3, there was a continue statement. And after continue, as I said, there is no statement getting executed after continue. So I was not incremented, and loops and the control goes to while, and it will keep moving, keep moving, keep running, keep running, keep running. So let me comment this line and just to run it again. Again, right? Because there is no increment this time. So it's again in that infinite loop. Stop. What I'll do, I'll uncomment, and I'll just put the iteration here so that this is not, this is before continue. So I increment operator should run. So what happened in this case? In this case, first time value of I is 1. Okay. Remainder is equals to 3. No. And then this statement is getting executed. So this is the last step in the loop. When the value of I was 2, again, this statement was executed. This is the last step in while loop. And when third time, when the value of I was 3, remainder was again, remainder is equals to 3. Yes. And then this statement was executed. This time what happened? This was skipped. So for first iteration, this was printed. Second iteration, this was printed. For third iteration, this was skipped. And then control goes to 4. This was printed. Control goes to 5. This gets printed. And then you are coming out of the while loop after 5. And then there is the else part. And else part, this is also getting executed. So difference between break and continue is very simple. In case of break, your break will kick you out of the while and else part. And continue will, if you met with continue, that will stop executing remaining part of the while loop, and control goes back to the while, and then it is continue. Hope it's clear to you. Just practice to understand. And in case of question, just write in comment box, or you can reach out to me in the Facebook group, and I'll explain you if in case of any doubt. Thank you so much for watching.